Blessings! Thank you for all who have liked, shared, subscribed, and have asked me to do readings for you. It is my passion as well as my life path to do these readings. And thanks for asking me to do 2016 because I'm doing these before December of 2015. And yeah, you see the light moving, and that was my computer. I have my computer open in front of me, and I've just done the 2016s, and I did them using my tarot. I did an intuitive reading, and now I'm going to go back and give a little bit more of the planetary aspects, because 2016 is going to be a very challenging year. Okay, it's going to be a very challenging year for all of us. Okay, because we have some big heavy-duty planetary that's going on. Okay, we have our retrogrades. You know, our retrogrades are going back over and you know, forcing us to redo, you know, to revisit. And we have the usual Mercury retrogrades in January, May, and December, and electrical mechanical communication breakdown that is, you know, to be aware of in the months of okay, now Mercury in January will go retrograde on the 6th and go direct on the 26th. So that's pretty much the whole month of January. And then April 29th, it will go retrograde until May the 23rd. So pretty much the whole month of May and a little bit of April will be retrograde. And then in December, it will go retrograde on the 19th. So, electrical, mechanical, communication breakdowns, beware of January, May, and December. Then you have Mars going retrograde. Mars goes retrograde in April, and that will be in Sagittarius. Okay, and it will go direct in June in Scorpio. So Mars, that fun-loving, okay, well, Mars, you know, is war, aggression in Sagittarius is fun-loving, but then when it's going into Scorpio, that's that deep, dark, secretive, and Mars retrograde is known for assassinations and destruction. Okay, more Mars, you know, the war, anger, aggression. All right, and is it going to come in, you know, in from behind? You know, is when you're talking about assassinations, is it going to be from the front? You know, Sagittarius, I would say so, more straightforward, and Scorpio, I would say more behind the scenes. Okay, so that's April until June. April 18th until June the 30th, that is Mars. And then we have Jupiter going retrograde, and Jupiter is going retrograde January 8th until May the 10th, and that's in Virgo. And Jupiter retrograde lends to obsessive mental illness. And we know how Virgo is the organized, analytical. So please do not drive yourself crazy with that Virgo retrograde. Okay? Genius hinges on insanity only when you're not true to yourself. So if you're getting brilliant flashes of inspiration, write them down and analyze them at another time. Okay? Don't obsess over them at this point. Just write the information down, and afterwards you can see it a little bit clearer. Okay, so January to May, Jupiter is retrograde. Then we have Saturn. Saturn is retrograde from March the 25th, and that is also in Sagittarius, and it's going to go direct on August the 13th, again at 9 degrees of Sagittarius. So I'm just looking here to see how close the degrees are with Mars and Saturn. You know, meaning that they are both going retrograde, and there is going to be a point in there that I'm seeing where they, well, that's 8. No, sorry. Good. Good. There's not as much chaos and destruction as I was thinking. Great thing. Okay. So, where were we? That was that Saturn, that was the teacher. And that is associated with loss, depression, and pain. So Saturn, that teacher in Sagittarius from March until August. Okay, don't be having too much fun. You go out and you have too much fun, Saturn is definitely going to be teaching you a lesson. Okay, wherever it falls in your house, I say everybody should have a treasure map to your soul, and that is your astrological birth chart. So when you know your chart, you know yourself. When you know where the planets are transiting, you know where they're hitting you, in what house they're hitting you. Like Saturn is going to be hitting me in my 9th house. You know, my long distance travel, my higher learning, my spiritual quests. Yeah, I'm going to continue learning the occult arts because learning them makes so much more sense in my life. Okay, Uranus. Uranus is going to be going retrograde September the 1st, 24 degrees of Aries, and it will go direct on December the 29th at 20 degrees of Aries. Now, when Uranus is retrograde, that's more the individual, the nonconformist. It's like, no, I'm going to be me. I don't care how painful it is. I'm going to be me. I'm going to use my inspiration to enlighten others also. Okay, so depending on how tight you hold on to your mindset, all right, if it's like your way or the highway, yeah, you might have a problem with that. You know, you want to blend in there a little bit. You don't want to be just, well, it's in Aries, so sometimes Aries can be a little bit, I can't say bullheaded. Can't say bullheaded because Aries, it's like, oh, start out the block and bam, bam. You know, it's Aries that ram. Bam, bam, bam. How many times do you ram yourself into that brick wall? So, yeah, don't ram yourself into that brick wall too many times. Maybe you can find a way to go around that wall instead of ramming it all the time. All right. So then we have Neptune, and Neptune is retrograde June, and that will be June the 14th until November the 20th. And during the Neptune retrograde, the truth is revealed. So I'm feeling at the end of the year that it's going to be much better. That even though there is going to be mass upheaval, okay, migrations of people, the earth changes increasing, all right, I do see that out of tragedy people come together in love. And I do see at the end of the year it's going to be a whole lot better. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to be revealed. Now, Pluto is retrograde from April until September, April 18th until September the 28th, and that is in Capricorn. And that's, dealing with our inner fears. Is everything going to turn out? Now, Pluto and Capricorn, Pluto is that death, that transformation. And Capricorn is government. A lot of us are concerned about our government. Oh, now what was I just saying about September? Yeah, retrograde, going back over it, and it's going to be right before our elections. in the United States. So there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be revealed. A lot of things that are going to be revealed. So the important thing is to keep your faith this year coming. Even though there's going to be challenges, there's going to be challenges with everyone. Okay? Some, this is gonna, 2016 is going to weed the men from the boys. All right? It's going to separate the women from the girls, the doers from the not doers, okay, the liars from the truthful people. All right, there's going to be a separation and divide, and many things are going to be exposed. So keep your high moral grounds. Okay, you know, why play their game when you remember that threefold law? One finger pointed out, three folded back in judgment. Okay? What's your reward? Okay? Are you getting those blessings because you have been, let me help you. Let me help you. Or are you in judgment of? If you've been in judgment of, this year's going to be the bitch slap year. Okay? So, I thank you all. If any of you would like a personal reading, I would most love to do it. What I do is look at your birth chart and I go over it. And then I go over the transits where they are right now. And I record it and upload it to YouTube. So only you can go back and look at it. And every time you will look at it, you will hear more and more. I like to record. I like to put it, and then you can go back and listen. Because when I counsel, you can't remember everything I say. So I like to record so you can go back and listen to it 3 months later, 6 months later, a year, we will always hear more. And you will hear what you're supposed to. Remember, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So, bless you 2016. And they're coming. Woohoo! Pisces! Hello, hello, my fishies. How are you? This is a divinatory reading for 2016. I'm going to do a general overview, and I'm going to be using my tarot. And I'll be throwing 3 cards for each month. And we'll see what's up. What's up, Pisces? Is it going to be a good one? Or is it going to be our usual challenges, taking us in different directions and different streams? So, I surround us with the divine white light. What comes through me is not of me. And we just have a good time. So, Pisces, what's coming up for us this year? I mean, there's a whole lot of challenges. I mean, I'm not saying that it's going to be easy at this point. It is as difficult as we make it. And I know there's some big time heavy-duty planetary aspects that are going on. And there's going to be a whole lot of planets retrograde, redoing, reviewing in our lives. Okay, Jupiter is going retrograde in Virgo in January, and it's staying that way for almost the whole year. So yeah, we have Pluto and Capricorn, and that's going to be going retrograde. Well, I mean, we have all the biggies. All the biggies is going to be going retrograde. Here's my ephemeris, my cheat sheet, saying what all is going. So it's like, January, you have Mercury and Jupiter going retrograde, okay? And then in March, you have, let me see, Saturn is going retrograde in March. Saturn, that teacher. You have Mars going retrograde in April, and Pluto going retrograde in April. So in April, In retrograde, you have Mars, you have Jupiter, Saturn, and Pluto. And they're going to be staying retrograde. So, 2016 is going to be one where we are going back over a lot of things in our lives, and what's working and what's not. What's not working, we better get rid of, and sooner than later. Okay, so let's see, Pisces 2016. What energy do we have to work with this year? What energy are we putting beneath us? Okay. Woo-hoo-hoo! The Magician. Yeah. We have the power to create. What are you creating this year, Pisces? Ooh, 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 ooh. Yeah, we got the magic to make it happen. Woo-hoo. Two of Cups. Some love. Starting out the year, the Three of Cups, abundance, ooh, 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 ooh. Eight of Wands, swiftness. Well, I guess we're coming into some pretty good love this year, Pisces. January, that's a lot of love to be showered upon us, okay? So we are going to feel that love. All right, it's going to feel good. We've been waiting for a while for some good love to come into our lives. So I'm seeing that there's some good loving coming into our lives in January. All right. Yeah, with everything, you have to work for it. So work at that relationship. Those of you that are in relationships, yeah, find out the birth chart for yourself and also for your partner, okay? Do a synastry. Where do your partner's planets fall into what house of yours, okay? Makes things a whole lot easier to understand someone when you understand that. So, excuse me, I have to take a drink. Thank you. Those of you who know, when my throat gets dry, I cough. And it's not nice when I get a coughing spell and I keep coughing and coughing and coughing, and then, yeah. It's not as bad as it used to be. Yes, I'm getting better and nicer to myself. I am not smoking as many cigarettes, so that helps with the cough. And one of these days I'm going to say I don't smoke cigarettes at all anymore. Maybe that'll be that January where I'm beginning to love me more than the obsession of nicotine to calm my butt down. That's one of those things with Pisces. We do have problems with our nerves, yeah, and it's that flip-flop, driving ourselves crazy, instead of just learning to go with the flow, learning to take that time out. If the stream is moving too quickly, then get yourself into a safe spot. Excuse me, I had a card jump out. Not just one card, but two cards. All right, so the Sun, Seven of Cups, and also the Ten of Cups. So coming up in February, all right, we have the illusionary success right in the middle of some good stuff. All right, so this is telling me, all right, we're seeing a partner there. We're seeing some good emotional juju there. And right in the middle of it, it's like some emotional discontent. So, All right, looking at this. Are you bringing past emotional baggage into new relationships and you're rocking the boat? You know, yes, I say different name, different face, same lesson. So is that what it is? Different name, different face, same lesson? In the middle of it, you have to be good to you. Do not look and get into a relationship just because you know you need some emotional stimulation. You know, if it's not good, you're going on an emotional roller coaster, and yes, there might be some good thrills, but there's also going to be some upsets. So how are you doing it? What are you doing? What are you looking at? Okay, so that was coming up in March. What's going on? Okay, how are you looking at things? Are you looking at them, you know, in a new point of view? Or, as I said, are you still stuck on that emotional baggage from the past? Okay, identify the problem. And then you'll find a solution. So, coming up in April, we have the Eight of Wands, the swiftness. Hello, Miss Bella May. How are you? That is my precious Bella. We also have the Five of Swords, the defeat. And you have the Four of Pentacles, the earthly power. So what I am seeing here, that you are able to fix things that are, you know, what's in the middle of it? What needs fixed? What needs fixed in the middle of it? You work to fix and make money. Okay? So in April, what needs fixing? What needs fixing? Work for it, because you're going, April is going to be profitable if you choose to work for it. If you're working, okay, you're working towards that emotional balance. It's up to us. It's up to us. And do you want to be happy? Do you want to be right? You know, are you in a relationship and you argue because you want to prove your point to be right? Okay? Sometimes, you know, it's better to be happy than right. I know when I do my prophecy, I would rather be happy than right. You know, sometimes when, you know, I see things and it's not good. You know, I would rather not be right in seeing that premonition, you know, or giving that prediction. I would rather be wrong. You know, I would rather be happy than right at that point. You know, because it happens. You know, it happens and it sucks. You know, it sucks when I feel like I can make a difference, but sometimes when you give your information away, it has no value. You know? So it seems like sometimes your information is only when somebody pays for it. You know, when somebody pays you for, then it's okay. All right, what's in it? So, May. What is coming in the merry month of May? We have the Five of Wands. What is holding us up in love? Okay, love's in the middle of it. What's working, what's not? And that's pretty well what's going to come down to. You know, what 2016, what I'm hearing, what I am seeing is everyone needs to get a good emotional balance in their life. You know, love's in the middle of it. What's working, you know, what's not. You know, identifying what's working, identifying what's not working, because it's going to continue. It's going to continue for the year of 2016. Are you rolling? You know, or are you rolling with the flow? Or are you bucking the stream? That's, that's a good question. How are you handling 2016? So, coming up in June, the Death card, the end of, what needs to change. 10, the Wealth. 2 of Wands, what's not working. Okay, so in the middle of it, okay, what needs to end in order for the money, the energy to flow into your life? What is not working? Whatever is not working needs to end if you want that fruitful, multiplying energy to come into your life. So, I'm hearing, I'm feeling, I'm seeing, what is your part? What is your part? What do you want to accomplish in 2016? Because it's up to you. It's up to you. Do you see the good that's coming out of it? Do you see the bad? Are you willing to work on your emotional relationships? And loving you is where it starts. Okay? Genius hinges on insanity only when we are not true to ourselves. So Pisces, a lot of times we tend to flip-flop. A lot of times we are, the I believe, and we are believing what other people are saying to us, and it's going against our gut, our God unto thee, and creating a little bit of insanity there. All right? So, yeah. How much insanity do you want this year? Because you're going to be tested as if we've never been tested before. We ought to ace this class this time. Okay? So, coming up in July. Coming up at, well, they popped up at the same time. Okay, the Magician again. Remember, we had the power of the Magician for this whole year. We have the 4 of Pentacles, and we also have the 9 of Pentacles, the material gain. So by July, if we are doing, if we are working towards our goal, by July, we got the magic to make it happen. It's coming in. It's going to be fruitful. It's going to be multiplied. So what are you multiplying in your life? Are you multiplying good stuff, or are you stuck in that icky goo, that emotional baggage, that, yes, I know, but I love them. Oh, I love them. Let's see, my Venus is falling on his Mars. I love him. But, it's not reciprocal. It's not the same in his chart. His Mars, your Venus might be falling on his Mars, or his Mars might be falling on Venus in your chart. But when you're putting your chart on his chart, none of your aspects are clicking on him. Okay? You're not going to get it back. It's not. It's a karmic. Is it in the South Node? That's where, you're getting your connection from a past life relationship? Is he treating you the way that you treated him in the past life relationship? Yeah. So, we have August, and we have the 6 of Swords, the earned success. We have the Ace of Wands, the new beginnings with work. And we have the 9 of Wands, the great strength. So, we're doing it. We're doing it. We're getting it. We're getting honors. Okay? We are doing new things. We are creating new things. We are standing. We are standing. All right? Okay. Pisces, you don't stand on the ground. You're floating good. You have your life preserver on, and not just the life preserver, but you have the boat. You might not be standing on firm ground, but you're in that boat. You're in that lifeboat. Okay, so you're not in the lifeboat, so you're on the cruise ship. You're on the water, you're floating, you're soaring. And for those of you who like the excitement of the surfboard, you are cresting that wave. All right, so good things are coming for us in 2016, Pisces. Yeah, we've been through. We've been through. They've tried wringing all the water out of us, but dang, just can't do it, I mean, we are that emotional water sign, and yeah, the sponge isn't dry. Nah, just add water. Okay, so September, King of Pentacles. We have the Eight of Pentacles, and we have the Four of Swords. All right, so in the middle of it, we see that we need to hold on to our money or our resources. All right, right in the middle of the prudence. It's like, okay, I have money, but I'm gonna hold up. I'm not going to go out and blow my money. I have earned it. I have worked, I have earned it, and I'm not going to go out and blow it. I'm going to invest it wisely. I'm going to work wisely with this energy, with this money that is coming up in September. Okay? You've got some good stuff. You've got some good stuff coming up, getting your emotional balance and knowing, okay? A big part of is that knowing who you are, what you are, all right? So be firm. Be firm on your foundation. So, let us see in October. What do we have in October for Pisces in 2016? And we have Ace of Cups, new beginnings with emotions, Three of Swords, the Sorrow, and the King of Cups. Okay, what's in the middle of it? What is the hurt and pain in the middle of it? Because we got some new stuff coming. All right, we have some new stuff coming. Does that mean that we have that knight on that white horse shining in to fix us emotionally for new beginnings and emotions? All right, just remember, because that loss, that pain is right in the middle of it. All right, new pain or new beginnings with love, the emotional pain, right in the middle of it. Get that emotional loss, okay, that emotional loss out of the middle of it, okay? It can go behind, it is in the past, it's in the middle of it, but it can go. New things, new beginnings can be made, all right? Don't focus on it. Don't put it in the middle. All right? Put it behind. New beginnings with emotions coming up. I mean, for many of us, we are going to be finding new partners in our lives. And for many of us, we are going to be building new partnerships with our partners, better partnerships. And for those of us, those other ones, it's like, you know what? I'm tired of these emotionally strained relationships. Maybe I think I'm just going to work on me this year. Maybe I'm going to have a relationship and love me more than I need the love of someone else. If we don't love ourselves, if we don't, fill that hole within, we're going to keep putting things inside from outside, and if we don't fill that hole within, it's like that dam that has the crack, that it flows, it seeps out, and it never fills. It never fills. Okay? So, good things are coming up. Good things are happening. What is your part in it? So, coming up Coming up, we have November, and then we have December. So, to finish it off in December, what do we have? What good juju, what good mojo do we have in December to end up 2016? The first card we have the King of Swords. Second card we have the Chariot. And the third card we have the Fool. Okay? So, Pisces, I'm seeing 2016 as a fantastic year for us. Alright? There's going to be many things that are coming in for us. Many things that are going to be changing. Alright? What is your view on it? What are you going to do for that change and transformation? The Chariot, taking things into your own hands. What do you need to take, in the middle of it, what do you need to take into your own hands? What needs to change? All right? Stand up for what needs. The childlike attitude, okay? The attitude of the child, the love of the child. Who does the child hate? A child loves all until they're taught to hate. So, taking it into your own hands, all right? Loving everyone, looking at people, looking at things through the eyes of a child. Children are so quick to forgive, but we tend to hold on to that emotional baggage, that emotional mental baggage, and it serves us no good. It's no good for us. So, Pisces, I think that we are going to be able to swim the currents of these challenging waters in 2016. So, please be an inspiration. Okay? Please inspire others around you in being that example. Okay, standing up and being that example, because many people are going to need it. There are many people who are going to be challenged this year, and they're going to have a hard time dealing. All right, Pisces, I believe we can do it. We can be an inspiration to the world for change. All right? Get your emotional balance. Get your emotional balance. Genius hinges on insanity only when you're not true to yourself. So this year, Pisces, challenge is be true to you. Okay? Be true to you and be that great shining example. So, see you, love you, bye.